before we begin, fit check for the real ones. Fit check. See this? And then I'm wearing the shirt. It's a Fever You Can't Sweat Out themed, which lets you know, and by literally the thumbnail and the title of this video, you will know exactly what the fuck I'm gonna talk about, and it needs to be talked about. So, a fever you can't sweat out. Oh my goodness. We're gonna do a first time opening here. I like to sit in chairs like I'm petite, like if I'm not 5'7", with the build of a malnourished linebacker. This album. This is the first. This contains the first Panic at the Disco song I've ever heard, which it's no shock when I tell you that the first Panic at the Disco song I've ever heard was I Write Sins Not Tragedies. Everybody knew that song, okay? You cannot go anywhere without hearing about the goddamn door. I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn door. Yeah, so anyway, does that sound nice? I'm trying to find where the fuck friction. I'm so happy I have obtained this beautiful album. I'm hyping it up so you guys can like be excited as I fucking am. But anyways, hopefully this video isn't as long as the Pretty Odd one, because this is also not my favorite album. I really like this album, but it's not my favorite album. So I'm not gonna spend over 20 minutes glazing it. Anyway, and I'll give you guys my top 3 in this video. I won't waste your time. But anyways, yeah, first song I ever heard was from this one. It's kind of funny how I ended up finding Panic at the Disco again, because I knew about Panic at the Disco as a kid, but why'd I get British? Oof, she's ethnic. Anyway. So I knew about some Panic at the Disco songs, but I'm pretty sure the main one that my aunt would play, because my aunt was really into like punk, pop punk, rock, heavy metal, a lot of shit in that like rock kind of categories. I don't know. She was into a lot of that stuff, okay? And she would have a lot of My Chemical Romance, but then some Panic at the Disco play. And I heard the goddamn door lyric. We'd be singing it. Close the goddamn door, right? Like, and fast forward a few years later, I'm listening to 21 Pilots now. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, the struggle. I feel like listening to 21 Pilots. Guys, please don't attract me. Don't attack me. But like, I feel like 21 Pilots is like the equivalent of a struggle meal. That's a poor man's meal. It's like huevos con weenies. That revuelto, that combinación that you be eating. Anyone else eat scrambled egg with weenie in it? Just anyway, I need to fart. I'm not gonna fart. Not for this channel. So then what fucking channel are you farting on, Clarissa? Anyway, so I'm listening to 21 Pilots, and I'm now on Pandora, because in my mind, I didn't know that you could listen to Spotify for free, so I was using Pandora. And I was listening to 21 Pilots radio, and then out of nowhere I hear and I'm like, oh, this is something different. Like, this sounds familiar, but like I'm jamming out, and then the goddamn door lyric hits, and I'm like, I know this. So then I look up the band, and I look up everything else, and then I like spiral down a hole, and I listen to this album for the first time. It changed my fucking life. I'm telling you right now. I'm not even kidding. It changed my fucking life. Okay. Oh, that's a thumbnail. Hold on. Anyway, so that was as I was saying. So it changed my life. Okay. And then I guess listening pretty hard. But the point is, let's focus on this one. Let's focus on this one. So, Ryan Ross, George Ryan Ross III, in Vegas, Nevada. Okay, are we catching up? Okay. He was originally in a group with Panic at the Disco's, at the time, drummer. Well, only the drummer. Well, yeah, named Spencer Smith. And they were originally in a two-man group called Pet Salamander. Pet Salamander. And slowly but surely they wanted to create a bigger band and things like that. And in high school, I don't remember how, if it was within high school. I don't think Brendan Urie and Ryan Ross were going to the same high school, but one way or another, I think he met via Spencer. I think. I could be just writing my own fan fiction, or maybe just giving you guys verbatim the plot of actual write-in fan fictions that exist out there. But anyways, I believe he was introduced either by Brent Wilson, who at the time was the bassist for Panic at the Disco, or Spencer. I'm 90.9% sure that he didn't meet Ryan until he was introduced. But Ryan had been singing for a while, and then they brought Brendan Urie along, and they're like, I think this guy should sing. This guy has a better voice. And not, again, I'm not saying that Ryan Ross can't sing, but for what this album is, as much as I would like to hear Ryan sing it, I also am not going to take away that Brendan Urie can sing. And Brendan Urie's voice matched up well with whatever was supposed to be the vibe in this album. The vibe, it has a very like, kind of like techno-ish, but it's very rock heavy, because if you're going like they be on that shit, like, you know, like that kind of stuff, electronic stuff, but it was very much rock heavy, so that goes into the category of pop punk. I did say in the last video that, you know, that Ryan didn't care too much about being famous. He cared about the music. He did want some exposure, though. And I mean, like, again, no shame in that. Most artists do want their art to be seen. At the time, you know who was really popping off in the pop punk scene? It was none other than Fall Out Boy. Yes, Fall Out Boy. Okay, are we listening? I don't care too much for Fall Out Boy, so I'm not going to talk about them. But I will tell you, I believe their songwriter, because their vocals, the frontman, like vocals, that was Patrick Stump. But the one that was really out there, like making all the moves for the band, writing the songs, and I believe he was also guitarist. I don't know. Was Pete Wentz. And he even had his own record label, Decadence. I don't know. But eventually they were rebranded to Fueled by Ramen, so it doesn't even fucking matter. Anyway, he was really active on all like the socials for Fall Out Boy and things like that. He spoke on their behalf. You know who else was hella active in this time? Ryan Ross. 18 to 19-year-old Ryan Ross was on LiveJournal, creating a lot of posts with things that you would later then see become lyrics in a lot of these songs. I can even point some of them out to you. That's how locked in I am with Panic at the Disco lore. Pre-split Panic at the Disco lore. I really don't give a fuck about post-split. Sorry. But anyways, but then he was also behind the scenes contacting Pete Wentz. He was in that bitch like straight up harassing Pete Wentz, okay? He was really trying to get a bag. Not a bag, but like, I guess one of his, that's a joke. He's really just trying to get like his someone that he did look up to in the scene, like to just consume his music or do something like that. So he sent a lot of demos out there. Look up the demos, by the way. Look up specifically look up the Time to Dance demo. I use the Time to Dance demo on my intro in my second channel, my new intro. But listen to the full thing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the stuff that he was sending out to Pete Wentz. At that point, they had a full band, and that's they got on now. As I've said, a lot of the lyrics here would then become posts on Ryan Ross's does that make sense? A lot of the posts that Ryan Ross made in that time on his live journal were just lyrics to this song. Look at the CD. It's kind of cute. Not kind of cute. I really love it. But let's look at some of the things in this. Tag yourself. I've always felt like that one. Oh, look, and there's more. If like you open up the album in full. Whoa. I forgot that it did that because I did own this CD at some point. Anyway, so we're gonna look at some of the lyrics here. So for example, a lot of songs, Camisado, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. I know that it is a surprise. It's a military term for a surprise attack in the middle of the night. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but anyway. The lyric that was a post originally was, "You're a regular decorated emergency. The bruises and contusions will remind you what you did when you wake. You found your place atop the ICU's Hall of Fame. The camera got you causing a commotion on the gurney again." There's in parentheses second highest all-time number of curses, swears, and punches. So I feel it necessary to mention a lot of the time when I'm discussing these two songs. Ain't shit funny about them. My cat came to do some ASMR, but ain't shit funny. Ryan Ross was going through a lot, and by that I mean his father suffered alcoholism, and that when one person is suffering, other people around them suffer, and it was a lot of the lyrics, Camisado and Nails for Breakfast, Tax for Snacks, were about his experiences with his father, things like that, which is why there's a lot of room for criticism when it comes to doing a fever you can't sweat out medley, and you're still profiting off of these songs in that way. But my take on that is, as long as Ryan is still making a coin, because I feel like this is still deserved because this is his work, like royalties, I'm hoping that's in play, then sure, man, what the hell, like, whatever, I guess. But yeah, that's what a lot of those things were, which is why I would hope sincerely that Pitchfork burns to the ground for having ranked this so low, because of the lyricism being not profound. Literally fart sniffing there. What are you looking for? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Like, I'm asking them, what are you looking for? But I really don't care. I don't care to know what they're looking for. I really don't give a fuck. Anyway, so a lot of those were posts at first. I'm not sure if he had made those posts before writing the lyrics, or if he had those in mind, like, oh, I will turn this into a song one day, because they are different. They're different. A lot of references to different medias in this album. I mean, there's some also pretty odd, but a notable one, Time to Dance, is based on a lot of the plot of, I believe the book is called Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. Fight Club guy. How familiar are you with Natalie Portman's filmography. Have you caught up with their IMDb? Anyway, so in the movie Closer, I believe that came out in 2004, Natalie Portman's character, I haven't watched the movie, she says, lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off, but it's better if you do. And those are two separate songs in this album. So one song is lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off. And then the song right after it is, but it's better if you do. They don't list it here, but in between that song, there's an intermission. There's something very circusy about this album and very old-timey, burlesque. They have the introduction, which is like radio static and stuff, and then it introduces the album, and it leads into the only difference between Suicide and Martyrdom is press coverage. I believe that's what it's called. Did I get this right? The only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide is press coverage. So just switch it. And then after that, London Beckoned songs about money written by machines. A lot of the song titles are just long, but that's not even as long as my favorite song. Not my favorite song, but one of my favorite songs on this album. There's a good reason these tables are numbered, honey. You just haven't thought of it yet. That's a mouthful. I'm not sure why. They're so long. They never say these things in the song. But actually, I have an idea why. Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy has really long song titles. And then they don't even be saying the fucking title in the song. Anyway. So, what else is there to talk about? I said that it was very circusy. Well, no shit. They had a tour at some point called Nothing Rhymes with Circus. Yeah, just so much. They had a lot of dancers on that, like doing the whole kick lines, doing all of that. So just think that, okay? With a mix of like ballet kind of thing. If you look up their performances, they were just really fun back then. Back when. Yeah, I loved it. I miss when Panic at the Disco brought dancers to their shows because it's just like, this is a performance. I don't know where we went wrong. But anyway, my top three songs. Holy shit. That's so difficult to pick. Oh, look, yeah. Brent Wilson was on bass. Anyway, top 3 songs, I'm going to say for sure. Lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off. I love that song. And I think it's really funny that song was written by Ryan Ross when he was like 18. Look up how Ryan Ross looked at 18 and then just think of the opening lyric to that song. That's amazing. And even funnier when you think about how I looked when I first listened to this album. Holy shit. God damn. And then I said I wasn't gonna make this video long. It's gonna be long regardless. Good grief. And then after that, it's gonna be, good lord, please don't die on me. Please don't die on me. Oh my gosh. There's a good reason these tables are numbered, honey. You just haven't thought of it yet. I like it. It's fun. And for sure, Build God Then We'll Talk. Nice Sound of Music reference. Let me not bend it. I'm gonna have Ryan Ross sign this if I ever get to meet him again. And I'll have both pre-split Panic at the Disco albums signed. And I'll be powerful. Rah. Anyway. That's about it. I'll see you guys in the next upload. Let me actually look